Hi everyone, this is SAT Practice Advanced Techniques for Polynomials and Rational Equations. This is the medium set part 2, and the first question is, if A and B are solutions to this equation and A is smaller than B, then what is the value of A? So first of all, let's just solve for X and find our A's and B's like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this equation and subtract the 8 over x minus 3 over to the other side. So I'm going to move it over, and that's going to be negative 8 over x minus 3. Now when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply, and when I'm going to cross this up here and this up there. So we get 2x times x minus 3 equals negative 8 times 2x plus 1. I'm going to distribute here. You get 2x squared minus 6x equals negative 16x minus 8. And then what I'm going to do is move everything over to the right here. We get 2x squared. And when I add 16x to both, I'm going to add 16x and add the 8. And so we're going to get 10x over here plus 8 equals, that will cancel, give you 0. You add it to both sides. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and factor out a 2 here. As you can see, this is multiples of 2. It just makes factoring easier. You don't have to do that, but it just makes it easier. So when you pull out the 2, you're going to get x plus 4 and x plus 1. So we get x is negative 4 and x equals negative 1. Now we kind of have to check. We can't have, if you look at the domain here, x can't be negative 1/2 and x can't be 3, or that means you would be dividing by 0. So basically both solutions work. So A and B are solutions, so they want to know A is smaller, so the smaller solution is negative 4. And that's your answer. Because negative 4 is smaller than negative 1. Okay. Now, number 12 says if g of x equals this, and g of x is evenly divisible by x, then we need to know the value of k. So we have a k right here. And we need to find the value of k. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and just clean all this up first. And when you do that, we're going to get negative 2x squared plus 12x plus 24 plus 3k minus 3x. Alright, and then just add anything you can here. Negative 2x squared, and let's see, we get 9x. Oh, right here we can combine these here. So that's going to be plus 9x. Then we have this plus 3k plus 24. Okay, so what we're going to do is, to ensure that there's no constant term, set 3k plus 24 equal to 0. So we're going to take this piece here and set it to 0. So we get 3k equals negative 24, so k is negative 8. Alright, so that ensures there's no constant term, so it's evenly divisible. So our answer is A. Okay, the next one. What is one possible solution to this? So basically, what I'm going to do is multiply this. First of all, let's just see what it can't be. X cannot be 0, because you can't divide by 0 for this first term, and X also cannot be 2. That's just your domain values. That's where it's undefined. Okay, so my LCD, or my least common denominator, is X times X minus 2. So what I'm going to do is multiply my common denominator by each term. Just to, so I can have the same denominator. Times 3. Alright, so what happens here is this cancels. So we get X minus 2. And then here, this part cancels. So we get minus 2X. And then on the right side, we're going to get 3. I'm going to go ahead and do this, X squared minus 2X. And so I'm going to clean up this now. We get negative X minus 2 equals 3X squared minus 6X. And now I'm going to move these two guys over to the right. So I'm going to set to 0. I'm adding X and I'm adding 2. So we get 3X squared, and I'm going to add X to this, so that's going to be minus 5X, and that's going to be plus 2. Now, let's see if we can factor this. We have 3X and X. We have to have 2 and 1, so we put the 2 here because that gives me a 6. That's going to be negative, positive 1. So the solutions are, for this one, the solution is X equals negative 1/3. This one, X is 2. Now, no, this one's X is, let's see, negative 6 plus 1. Since this is a griddable, X can't be 2 here. So one of the possible solutions is X equals negative 1/3. Alright. I think we have one more medium. So it says when we have this polynomial here, and it's divided by this, what's the remainder? So basically, what we want to do is, this is 14. So basically what we want to do is look at a long division. So what I want to do to reduce the chance of careless errors is start by factoring out the negative 1 out of both the expressions. The math will still work if you omit the step, but you'll have more negatives. So when I factor out, so we're dividing, basically what they want us to do is this. And we're dividing by 2 minus X. Now what we're going to do is factor out a negative. Or you could just say multiply each, I'll just say multiply each of these by negative 1. It's the same thing. So when you do that, you're going to get 2x cubed plus 2x squared minus 27x plus 30. And this is going to change to negative 2 plus x, which is actually x minus 2. Now it makes it easier to do long division, so let's do that on the next slide. We get x minus 2, and you write 2x cubed plus 2x squared minus 27x plus 30. Now, what times x is 2x cubed? That's going to be 2x squared. So I'm going to put it on top of this, I guess. I tend not to do that. I tend to put it over here, but so no, I'm just going to put it where I usually do. I'm just going to put it here. So I'm going to put 2x squared here. When you multiply, you're going to get 2x cubed minus 4x squared. Now we're going to subtract subtract, we're going to subtract both pieces. And the goal is to have the first term go away, which it does. So this will cancel. And 2 minus a negative 4 is a positive 6. Then bring down your 27x and do it again. So what term times x gives you 6x squared? And that's going to be 6x. So that's going to give you 6x squared minus 12x. Now we want to subtract. Our goal is to get rid of that. We did. Negative 27 minus a negative. So when you hear yourself say minus a negative, that's plus. So that's going to be negative 15 plus 30. You have to bring down your 30. And then the next is going to be minus 15. And when you bring that down, you multiply and you get negative 15x plus 30. And subtract. When you subtract both of that, you get 0. So the remainder is 0. And this is a griddable, so you have to grid that in. Okay, the next set we're going to do is the hard set. And the difficulty is hard. And we have how many? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 hard ones we're going to have to do. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye.